So I have been putting in some serious hours this year trying to get brand sponsorships for festivals.
And then my question is, have y'all been to space? Have you been to space? Go to space.
I don't want to complain.
So I think it's time for us to go over some more celebrities and influencers just being out of touch with the real world. You would think the PR team behind these people would say, you know, maybe don't upload that video, or don't say this or that out in public, it would hurt your brand image or whatever. But no, you see clips and stories pop up all the time, and that's what we're gonna go over today. We also have some comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But I think we all know which one we have to start off with in this video. Katy Perry, the singer, becoming an astronaut.
You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
Is this some sort of a prank, a social experiment that just went right over my head? What are you talking about? I don't have to go super in depth with what happened. I bet everybody's heard of it. But Katy Perry and some other famous people went up in space for about 10 minutes. And I guess that constitutes you becoming an astronaut now and being so connected with love. Like, there's really not much more I could say other than some of the comments we could read. Officially an astronaut? So me making instant noodles makes me a renowned chef now too. Actual astronauts watching this, super disconnected from reality. What has love got to do with going to space? I feel like this is some sort of marketing ploy or way to get back in the public eye, because really nobody has paid attention to Katy Perry in the past several years, so we'll look at that a little bit later. But she's not the only one in some hot water because of these space news. I think almost everybody has seen this clip. We'll just run it real quick.
And then my question is, have y'all been to space? Have you been to space? Go to space.
So this was an interview by Gayle King telling all of us normies that we should go to space before we judge them. I don't really have to tell you how out of touch that one is. The comments are just great too. We have another one I just got off a Southwest flight. Basically, I'm Amelia Earhart now with 30,000 likes on that one. They make it worse each time one of them does an interview, which I think is insane. Many of these people make their money being in the public eye, and that comes with all the interviews and the talk shows. Wouldn't they be the best trained for PR and taking interviews? It's basically all about their public image, and so many of these people are just so out of touch. Have you all been to space? No, Gail, we can barely afford groceries, let alone a ticket to ride on a spacecraft. Mocking us for not being in space is wild. Have you been to space? No, Gail, we can't afford it. We didn't do anything, you literally took a ride. Yeah, now she's calling herself an astronaut. I guess they all are. And it really doesn't get better. The more interviews you see, the worse this situation gets.
We all kept saying, Katy, you got to sing something. Is it going to be roar? Is it going to be fireworks? Is it going to be extraterrestrial? I said, you have to sing. She goes, actually, I don't. How could you be up here and not? She goes, I'm not planning to sing, because we were all ready with our little sing-alongs. But when we were coming back down, Katy just broke out in a cappella, What a Wonderful World. And the way that she sang it, nobody dared join in, as opposed to we would all been, if it had been roar fireworks, it would have been a sing-along.
So I guess it was just expected for her to sing while she was up in space with everybody else, which initially her saying, no, I don't have to sing, was probably the correct response, but I guess she started singing at the end anyway, and the top comment is exactly what I thought. This reminds me of when celebrities sang Imagine during COVID. We went over that as well, while they were cooped up in their super mansions, saying that we're all in this together, and then they all just sang Imagine in front of their iPhones, as if that was just supposed to make the entire world better. Oh man, celebrities really live in their own delusions. You have to sing. I actually don't is so real, but then she ended up doing it anyway. Singing What a Wonderful World while dumping 70 tons of CO2 in the atmosphere is crazy. The comments make these clips so much funnier. But like I said at the beginning with the first clip, I feel like this has to be some sort of marketing ploy, because Katy Perry was the biggest person on this little space flight. Nobody was really talking about her for quite a long time in the public, and right after that you see her doing concerts where she's almost dancing like an alien would try to dance, mimicking a person. It was just very odd. My best guess is that she's going with no PR is bad PR, and just doing anything and everything to try to get people to talk about her, and I guess in the end that worked, because I am right now. But we could switch over to an influencer.
I have another whiny influencer rant. Well, I'm not whining, and it's not really a rant. I am just so frustrated. So I have been putting in some serious hours this year trying to get brand sponsorships for festivals, because festivals are expensive. And if you had the tools to go to festivals for free, you would utilize them to the best of your ability as well. Okay. I can't even tell you how many brands I've reached out to this year for like Coachella and Stagecoach. I would say close to 100 brands I've reached out to, and I have like different pitches for everyone. I don't just copy and paste the same message when I'm like outreaching to brands for festivals. I customize it to them. I come up with different ideas depending on the brand. So each like pitch that I make is custom. So it takes a long time. I've been working really hard at this because festivals are expensive and I don't get handed to me, okay? A lot of the influencers that go to festivals for free, brands are just in their email, like, we want to send you to Coachella. I don't get that. I have to reach out to the brands myself and beg, and I get rejected a lot, and that's okay. 2 brands said yes to me for Stagecoach. 2. One of them was offering me just tickets, and then the other brand was offering me tickets and accommodations. So obviously I said yes to the tickets and accommodations brand, and I love this brand.
Of course you love this brand. Every one of them that's going to pay you is magically the favorite brand. So she keeps going on for a couple minutes, and at the end, this company ends up ghosting her. So she wasn't going to get free tickets and free accommodation just to go to this festival, that if she really wanted to go that bad, she could pay for it herself with her 5.1 million followers, while also making this video complaining in front of a mansion and an in-ground pool. But she's really working hard. Things aren't given to her. She has to go and email brands asking them to pay for everything. That is some back-breaking work if I've ever heard. And starting off this video saying that you don't want to complain and then proceed to complain doesn't negate the fact that this seems wildly out of touch. If you truly wanted to go, adding in, by the way, a +1, she was also bringing her friend that was going to be paid for by this brand until they pulled out. You could just pay for it yourself. You clearly have enough money. We could take a look at the comments. My card declined getting a smoothie yesterday and I have 2 jobs, but yeah. Wow, girly, this was out of touch. Tara, I love you and will continue to love you. Very odd thing to say with any sort of social media creator. In general, you don't really know any of these people in real life, but we'll keep going. People can't afford food. You're complaining about not getting a free ride to a festival that you could afford to go to on your own. This is out of touch. You're sitting in front of a mansion. There were thousands of comments like this. This happened about a month ago as well. It's crazy that this woman hasn't deleted this post, but I guess we have kind of a part 2 with this same creator as well.
Rich influencers can be so out of touch because there's this one, her name's like Tara Lynn, and she made a video asking people to donate money to this GoFundMe to raise like $18,000 for this like one rescue dog. And people are mad at her because they're like, yo, you own a house in Beverly Hills and you're begging us for money. And mind you, she has also spent over 10 grand on tickets to just one concert. She spends tens and tens of thousands of dollars on all these like luxurious things, and she makes a lot of money from being an influencer. And yet you're out here begging us for money to donate to this GoFundMe when you probably could afford that. And also, she's the same one that went viral for saying, oh no, like, I finna be in the pit. And she's also had so many other instances of being out of touch in scandals like this. Like, yes, $18,000, that's a lot of money to donate. But when you own a house in Beverly Hills, you make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, and yet you buy all these, like, luxurious things, I'm sure you can afford to donate that. Like, I really just hate how out of touch some people are, because if you have the money, especially as a wealthy person, if you have the money to, like, donate to a significant amount or cover it all, why are you out here begging your millions of supporters to go and donate?
This goes right along with the big celebrities as well when we're talking about the Maui fires, the LA fires, any of the charities that they start to get good PR, they immediately turn to their 10 million Instagram followers or whatever and ask normal everyday people to donate to their cause. Maybe they'll donate a minuscule amount of their net worth, but still asking your fans to donate to your charity in this day and age, in this economy, is absolutely insane to me and goes really well with a comment from one of you guys. Then the celebrity says, I raised X amount of money for my charity. And they take credit for however much they made, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars raised. And as we'll see a little bit later with more comments, this isn't the first person with the GoFundMes, even though they probably could have paid for it if they actually wanted to.
I don't want to complain, but this is insanity. My best month ever on TikTok Shop, I had about 30 million views and I made $60,000 in commission and I missed $400,000 in GMV. Last month, I had 100 million views and I barely made 150,000 GMV and I only made 13,000. I know it's only 13. That does not compute. Could you imagine if my was actually getting pushed to shoppable accounts? Could you imagine the money that I could be making? I could be the #1 account on TikTok Shop right now. 100 million views. 100 million views. It almost makes me sick. It almost makes me sick.
I mean, I understand it. It'd make me sick too. Only $13,000 a month? How are you going to survive? I think you guys know my stance on the TikTok shop sellers, where their entire accounts, by the way, 1.2 million followers. But all she does is to try to sell you crap on TikTok shop, and then she earns a commission and then has the audacity to complain that she only made $13,000 a month. I do understand that $13,000 is way less than the $60,000 she made apparently from the commissions, but I don't think I really have to tell you how wildly out of touch that is in today's world. This isn't even one of the accounts where, oh, maybe she's a comedian, she makes funny skits, and maybe she's got a side business that she sells on TikTok shop, and that's how she's getting the commissions or has links in the description and she gets extra money. Her description on her account says, yes, I'm the girl from the ads. Her entire content is just trying to sell you crap so she can make a ridiculous amount of money, let alone the fact that we are in some sort of recession, at least troubling economic times, so her getting less money for the views that's pulling in is just a part of the game. Advertisers are pulling their money because people aren't spending as much, let alone the fact that TikTok has kind of been in and out of getting banned or not in the US, so maybe some companies don't want to advertise on it right now. But again, we start off the video saying, I don't want to complain, and then proceeds to complain about making way over 6 figures a year, selling you Temu level crap on her page. We got another comment from one of you guys. I worked with a lady who paid me $17 an hour to manage her business in a rich town north of Vancouver. She actually thought it was appropriate to say to me, my husband makes $200,000 a year and we have nothing to show for it, while the Tesla she owned sat out in front and she drove off home to her multi-million-dollar mortgage-free home. I quit a few days later. This video is actually becoming more depressing than I thought.
Here is an incomplete list of just some of the things very out of touch wealthy people have said. Nestle's former CEO, Peter Brabeck-Letmathe, said that water is not a human right and it should be treated as a commodity, bought and sold for profit. Kellogg's CEO, Gary Pilnick, told families who are struggling to afford groceries to just eat cereal for dinner. Elon Musk's mom told people that they should be having kids even if they're poor and can't afford them. Her advice is to just not go out to eat and not go out to the movies so you can afford kids. Because we all know that raising a child is the cost of a movie ticket. Tim Gurner, a millionaire real estate developer, told millennials that they should stop buying avocado toast and coffee out, and then they'll be able to afford to buy a home.
I think the water not being a human right and the just eat cereal forever one is just unbelievable. And I know I keep laughing in these videos, honestly, because of how ridiculous I think all of this is. But we'll go back to the influencers, where I don't know if this video was supposed to be funny and relatable. I don't know how it would be to normal fans, but this is somebody having a freak out because they have to go take public transit. God forbid.
Are you scared? Yes! Guys, she's conquering the L for the first time.
Wait to be so obnoxious.
How are you wheezing? Yay, you did it! Making the L stylish. You're so mysterious with that.
Guys, you think
Hold on. It's like a stripper. You won't touch it. It's like the Subway surfer because you don't want to touch.
So if you legitimately thought this way, why would you ever post this online? There is no way you'd think that you would get any positive feedback from this. It's so incredibly sensitive too, because so many people rely on the red line for their daily life. How sheltered and privileged is their life to live here and never have taken it? And I don't personally know how bad the trains are in Chicago. I know that there are some areas that are really rough. Same thing with the subways in New York City can be very dangerous. But posting this out in the world, acting like the rich, out of touch influencer, like what did you expect was going to happen?
I lived in Beverly Hills where everybody's parents are famous and the kids are part of the fame. It doesn't end well. I remember, no joke, a kid telling me, I was going for a jog outside my house in Beverly Hills. I'm going, and a guy pulls up. He's like, hey, I'm a follower of yours and I live on the same street as you. And he was like 16. And he's like, yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of struggles. And his struggle was his parents gave him a BMW and all of his friends had Ferraris. And I said, I don't want my kid. That's not good for a kid. His reality was like, he was kind of like, Todd, I'm trying to make more money. And I'm like, why? And he's like, dude, I don't fit in school. And like, he was kind of misquoting the wealth thing. You know, it's like, I need to change my social circle. Some of my friends only have BMWs, but some kids in school have Ferraris. And those are the real thinkers and Think and Grow Rich. And I want to be like them.
There's a couple layers to just this one clip. I don't really have to explain how insane the BMW and Ferrari comment was for whoever that kitty was talking about, or the fact that they're struggling even though they're enormously wealthy. I could understand to a point, because even if you did have a successful life and a career, many people would think you just got there because of your parents who were already rich and famous. But at the same time, you never have to deal with any financial stress for your entire life. I feel like almost every normal person would take that trade in a second. The other part about this video is that this is Ty Lopez, one of the old school YouTube grifters selling courses, saying that he lived in Beverly Hills, blah, 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 having all these crazy stories to have viral moments on podcasts, which we've already talked about before. It's just a whole mess of a clip right here. But we have a comment from one of you guys. I remember last year, Alyssa Milano, which I had to look up, is some sort of famous actress, had a GoFundMe account set for people to donate to her son's baseball team trip. I couldn't believe a millionaire asking for donations. Basically the same story as the GoFundMe with the rescue dog earlier. I looked up online and said she had about a $10 million net worth, which just Googling that isn't 100% accurate, but I would say it's at least in the millions. So asking other people to pay for her son's baseball team trip. I know I'm a broken record, but what did you expect? I do actually have some more examples to go over, but we're just gonna end it off with this clip.
Quick little story for you guys about how out of touch people can be when they actually have money. I had a boss one time that I was kind of going over this projection of why, you know, the economy is different and we need a raise. Because even though they were business owners and they made like a good amount of money, they didn't really quite understand the value of a dollar and the current value of the dollar and how far or not far that dollar was going to go. And I remember talking to this person, this owner, and talking to them about how things were more expensive at the grocery store and all these things. And they said, really? They literally had no idea. They had so much money that they had not noticed that gas prices had gone up, groceries had gone up, all significantly. It had not touched or changed their life at all.
So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.